Welcome to Live from Your Laptop. Hear straight from Klaviyo's community of some of the fastest growing brands and partners about how they're growing their e-commerce business and owning their destiny. Hosted by Morgan Lasky, for today's episode, we welcome Living Proof.
Hello and welcome to Live from Your Laptop, everyone. Happy Tuesday. If it's Tuesday for you, I don't know, it might be Wednesday morning for some of you, but welcome. You are definitely in the right spot. It's definitely been a while. It's been a hot minute since our last episode of Live from Your Laptop. So it's super exciting to see some returning faces. So thank you guys so much for joining us again. And I'm even more excited to see some of our new listeners from the community tuning in today too. If you haven't done so already, please head over to the chat and introduce yourself to the community. Let us know where in the world you guys are tuning in from today. Also, feel free to turn those videos on. I see some people engaging in their video and turning it on. That's the best part about Live from Your Laptop is I love to see all of your faces every single week. Speaking of intros, my name is Morgan Lasky, for those who are new to the show, and I head up our events here at Klaviyo. So today on Live from Your Laptop, we've got a pretty big name brand joining us. Personally, I'm like a little giddy little girl over here because I love this brand. I use their products every day, and their full dry volume blast spray has literally changed my life. If you don't have it, you need to go out and buy it. We are chatting with Living Proof. They are joining us, and I am so excited to welcome them to the show. We'll be chatting with a few of their folks from the e-commerce marketing team about everything from how the brand gained momentum in the beginning to the ways that they are using influencers, among other channels, to grow their customer base. And then we're even getting an exclusive look into some of their Klaviyo assets, which I can't wait for you guys to see. The best part about all of this, you guys, is all of these ideas and insights are free. They're tried, they're tested, they're proven, and you can take them back to your brand or your agency to try for yourselves. So after the chat, we're going to learn how to create a summer hairstyle to withstand the heat and humidity, which if you are a northern eastern person like I am, we definitely need something to keep the hair under control in this heat and the humidity. So very excited to learn that. And then to wrap it up in true Live from Your Laptop fashion, we've got 2 giveaways today. Each winner will walk away with a Living Proof starter kit of their choice. So you'll definitely want to stay with us for that. All right. So if you guys could just stay muted, that's really the only rules. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. I love the conversations that go on in the chat while we're talking. And if there's a question that's relevant to the question that I'm asking, I might pull it in. We'll see if you get lucky today. I'm not going to waste any more time talking because I really want to get to some of the great questions that came in from the community for Living Proof. So let's hop right into it. Tiffany and Karina, welcome to Live from Your Laptop, ladies.
Hello, everybody. Hi, guys. Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
My name is Tiffany Karoka. I am an e-commerce manager at Living Proof. I've been with the company for almost 5 years now, so definitely know the product. Something else about me is I'm also a licensed cosmetologist. Next month will actually be 12 years that I've had my cosmetology license. So starting at Living Proof was really great. I also have a degree in mathematics. So being able to be in this digital space was really great where I could combine, some of my more quote unquote nerd side with, my knowledge on hair. So it's definitely been a pleasure working with Living Proof in the digital space and getting to know the community and everything. So yeah.
That's awesome. You know what? I didn't want to call you a nerd, but I was going to be like nerd and beauty, 2 of best of both worlds. But you called yourself a nerd, so
I definitely am a nerd, so I'll accept. My mom always used to say, "You got the brains and beauty." I'm like,
oh, I love that. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here, Karina.
Hi. Yeah, my name is Karina Santiago. Nice to meet you guys. I am part of the digital team here at Living Proof as an e-commerce coordinator for the past 8 months. So I started during COVID. On my day-to-day, I support all things LP.com and Amazon as needed, as well as our paid media campaigns, and then all things email on Klaviyo.
Awesome.
And yeah, I guess a fun fact, the chat was blowing up at the beginning. But there is someone from Venezuela. That's where I'm from, originally from Venezuela, and also lived a big chunk of my life in Nigeria.
Amazing. I love that. That's incredible. Well, thank you for being here. We have a lot to get to. Let's kick it off with the first question. And again, like if you guys don't know about Living Proof, that's okay. But I mean, they're a household name. So Karina, why don't you tell us more about Living Proof? How did the brand start? What's the mission? And who's your audience? And how did that evolve over the last, I guess, what, 10-ish years?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you the little elevator pitch for Living Proof. So we actually have a pretty interesting backstory, and that's one of the main things that drew me to the brand when I first started interviewing. They were founded in 2005 by two very different groups of people. So on one hand, you have biotech scientists from the Boston area, from MIT, and you have, on the other hand, stylists that were kind of fed up by the limitations that they were experiencing on their day-to-day with the products, the conventional products that we're using. So using a science-first kind of innovative approach and sophisticated technology from MIT, they joined forces and created a beautiful breakthrough line of products with the one goal to just solve the toughest problems in hair care. So that's our mission there. And excuse me. And then fast forward to 2021, we have over 50 unique products and 150 awards. And we just continue to challenge the industry and disrupt the space with our scientific solutions that solve those hair problems, as well as help boost people's confidence. And then to answer your question on our target audience, it would be men and women in their 20s and 30s that are just passionate about hair care.
Right. Yeah. I tend to ask many questions in one question. You'll notice that about me. So well, back to that. So did you start with like stylists? Is that who your initial audience was? And then that kind of grew from there?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty broad. I would say the core of the company was more about that using that technology, using that science first approach, and then joining forces with stylists, and then catering to people, just regular men and women looking, that are passionate about hair care, like true solutions, scientific solutions for those problems.
Love it. Okay, so this question stems from some of the questions from our community. So for those that are new to Live from Your Laptop, you obviously have an opportunity to ask a question when you register, and that's what makes Live from Your Laptop great, is we ask your questions. A lot of questions about how you guys are educating and engaging with your audience, specifically with user-generated content. So I was poking around on your website, your livingproof.com, and I came across our Insiders Tell All section, where you have your Living Proof team that shares their best hair secrets. I love it. I absolutely love this. It's something that would draw me in. Can you tell us more about this strategy behind the content, what inspired this, and the response you've seen from online visitors? I think we have a screenshot here for people to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually one of my favorite pages on the site too. And it's great because we have a tremendous in-house team of salon educators and stylists that really spearhead everything from educational courses, both in person and online, to testing the products and being involved with new product development. And like Tiffany mentioned, she's an e-commerce manager here on the digital team, but she has an extensive background as a stylist. So her and the rest of the stylists at Living Proof, I consider subject matter experts. And we love tapping into that wealth of knowledge when it comes to ideating and brainstorming new digital content that we're going to be putting out there. So the main goal, I would say, in those meetings is creating valuable content and just sharing value to our readers at all times. And I mean, as experts, they have the best product recommendations. If you guys want to ask Tiffany any questions in the chat about what products she recommends best, I definitely recommend it. I was building an email recently to celebrate National Hairstylist Day, and one of her answers was around 5-in-1 styling treatment, which is one of our best seller products, but I'd never tried it and I can't live without it now. It's the one thing I use every time I wash my hair. So
Yeah,
definitely,
I hear that.
definitely
I
asking
mean,
questions.
anytime I use a product of yours, I can't live without it. So it just keeps adding to the collection. Okay,
I
so
know there's so many. There's just so many to choose from.
good point. I think user generated content can be from your customers, it can be from your staff. Like, obviously, you have a lot of subject matter experts. If you have, people that work for you, they're obviously passionate about the product, passionate about your mission. Why not interview them? Why not use content that they can help create? So I absolutely love that idea. Is there any, what other types of user generated content do you collect and share? Maybe not from the staff side, but from, your customers that are using the products.
Yeah, I mean, on the staff side, so this initiative that you see on the site, that was started during COVID. And I think it just came at this time where people were stuck at home and they were kind of left to their own devices to figure out how to style their hair for their Zoom meetings and things like that if you were styling your hair. And so we launched those Tutorial Tuesdays on social and on email, and you can kind of take a look at the highlights that we have right now on our social pages on Instagram. And so that was revolving around content created by our stylists, but we'd also feature UGC by some of our customers, some of our influencers. That's something that we've tested in the past through paid social, and we want to continue featuring those in our emails too. So, I mean, educational content performs so well for us. It's more organic, more natural, and that can be a campaign that we create on Klaviyo. It can be redirected to a unique landing page on the site. It could be those Instagram story series. It could be all kinds of things, you name it. I mean, it works really well for us.
Yeah, I encourage everybody to head over to Living Proof's Instagram channel. They have a lot of cool content on there if you're looking for some ideas for your brand. So awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that with me. And Bree, we will get to your question that is coming up very soon. All right. So continuing with your online, site. Did you guys start out in retail and wholesale and salons? Is that really where the business started? So you're shaking your head. But so eventually, you guys saw this immense opportunity to become more direct to consumer and build up that e-commerce side of the business. Since Living Proof now has a robust omni-channel approach, and you guys have seen amazing growth on that D2C side. So I do understand that a lot of groundwork went into growing this digital end of the business. So I'd love for you to share with the community today more about that and some of the lessons you learned. So again, I have questions within a question. So let's first start with the e-commerce platform that you guys are partnering up with. How has it been working with Salesforce Commerce Cloud? What are the pros and cons, and how was the integration with Klaviyo?
Yeah, I mean, working with Commerce Cloud has been great. So far, we have a very robust tech team with whom we meet regularly to just kind of make sure that everything is going smoothly, especially in such a content-rich website and during any kind of peak traffic that we see, either through an influencer promotion or a holiday promotion. It's great to just make sure that we're supported on that end. And yeah, our integration with Klaviyo was super successful, very seamless. We have a Klaviyo rep who is awesome. She's very accessible, always there to answer all my crazy questions, and just making sure that we are on track at all times to hit our benchmarks.
Yeah, I would agree. Lee is your CSM, and she's our girl. She's awesome. So shout out to Lee there. But so what makes Salesforce Commerce Cloud, what's the pros there versus, say, a Shopify or a Magento? Why do you guys like that platform so much? And again, we're partners with all of them. I love all of them, but I'm just curious, if people are looking to understand why Salesforce Commerce Cloud, would love to hear why you guys chose that particular platform.
Yeah, I think a huge part of that was how easy it is to kind of customize and be able to do what we want to do on the site. Whether that is, working, and we'll talk about this later with our influencer promotions, but we do a lot of unique landing page for those promotions, and maybe we do virtual bundles. So it's great, that flexibility on having that on the back end, as well as the team that came along with. Commerce Cloud. It's been great.
Yeah. So having it be a little bit more custom to what you guys need. I love that. Okay. So let's talk about how you started growing your online traffic. Obviously, you needed to start somewhere. I think brands listening in today that are looking to grow their list would love to understand, how you started growing online traffic, how you started growing your email list, and any tips for those listening in today who might, have a lean team and a lean budget,
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, we started driving traffic and we do this still. We drive a significant amount of traffic through our paid media campaigns. And that includes some lead gen campaigns that we have. So that's essentially around an exciting launch. It could be a collection launch or a product launch. And it's creative that runs on social and on search that has content or copy that says something new is coming, something exciting is coming. Sign up to be the first to hear about it. And so that in itself is a great way to grow our email list. And that's through our paid campaigns. But then we also have some pop-ups through Klaviyo on the site. And I'm sure we'll touch on that later on, but we essentially, if you go to the site and you're not a subscriber, the first thing you'll see, or it'll pop up, it'll be a 10% offer on your first order, just kind of asking you to share your email, and then an exit intent form that pops up when you're about to exit that asks for your email as well, and as well as your hair type, which is just really valuable information for us when it comes to crafting those campaigns and segmentation too.
Yeah, we're gonna get into those pop-ups because they're performing very well. And I always say pop-ups on the site or flyouts, whatever, is a great way to collect those email that email lists to grow the list. Are you guys using anything like Facebook lookalike audiences? Like, how have you guys utilized that at all to help drive online traffic?
We have worked with, we have using segmentation, sending audiences through Facebook and Google, just making sure that we're using our retargeting our ads to the best of our abilities and making sure that it's being seen by the right folks. So we have dabbled with that, but I would say a lot of it is done through Klaviyo too.
Yeah.
Creating those cohorts.
Okay, awesome. And then what was key to personalizing that, online experience for buyers, for new buyers and even repurchasers? So, your loyal following, what was the offer, or I guess the intent to buy online versus going to a Sephora or a salon and getting the product? How did you guys think about that in the beginning, and how has that evolved?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's definitely different ways to answer that, but I think when it comes to enhancing that online experience, you definitely want to be mindful of all the rich data that you have available. So that's everything from purchase behaviors to the hair quiz answer. So we have a quiz on our site. It's about 8 or 9 questions long, and it covers everything from what your routine is in the morning, what your dry routine is, if it's an air dry or a rough dry, or what kind of products you like to use and things like that. So utilizing those data points that you might not have elsewhere, as well as reviews. That's something that we also get hair type information or data, and even comments on social media. So just using all that data and curating CRM campaigns or personalized post-purchase flows that just have different touches and unique content in each. And I would say a way to incentivize that purchase, something that you can do online that you can't do elsewhere. Maybe we've seen in our flows that you haven't made a purchase since you joined that first flow. Then in that last kind of attempt at the very end, maybe the 4th or 5th touch, you provide a discount code or something to incentivize it.
Yeah, that's a super
all of that.
Yeah, you can't do that at Sephora or Ulta. And yeah, they're great partners of yours, but you don't own that relationship like you do with your online data that you have. What the particular quiz that you're talking about on your site, is that powered through Klaviyo or somebody else, like a type form?
That is not through Klaviyo. I believe it's through Salesforce. So we do work with our tech team to develop that. Yeah.
right, so powered through Salesforce and that e-commerce connection there on your platform. And then for your reviews, where are you seeking reviews? Where did the review stuff come in at?
Yeah, we work with Yotpo, a third party as well there to get the reviews generated.
Awesome. Yeah, Yotpo is a great partner of Klaviyo. So awesome. All right. So the last question in this set is, we talk a lot about own marketing and owning that customer relationship, and you can really do that online through your website, through your direct channels. What does own marketing mean to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it means personalization and relevancy. And so not only having rich content living in all of our channels, just kind of making sure that we're personalizing it every time that we can, and just ensuring that whatever we put out there is both educational and relevant to the customer, or a trend that's going on, or maybe a holiday that we should be taking part in. So just keeping that true with every content that we create.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And I believe that relevancy is really key, staying in the moment with your customers. I am going to throw a question at you that's somewhat relevant to this question. For a small brand, and we do have a lot of people in the community that are just starting out, or they don't have a big team, right? Or they don't have a huge budget. I get that, right? So how can they grow a customer base? Is it wise to offer a discount and an incentive immediately? Or do you think like it's better to do it later? And we are going to get to this. We're going to get to like an abandoned cart where I think you guys offer a discount, but what are your initial thoughts on that? Do you throw a discount out at them immediately, or do you kind of just wait a little bit, give it a few days, see if they're hanging on, and then throw something at them?
Yeah, I mean, and you'll see in our welcome series, we'll touch on that later too, but we do offer that ability to get that discount code. Like we talked about, if you sign up, you get a 10% discount on your order. I think that could be a great way to, if you're not seeing a lot of traffic elsewhere, so that could be a good way to get people purchasing on your website.
Right.
So I would recommend maybe doing that in that initial touch, but then for future flows, maybe saving that till the fourth or fifth touch.
Yeah, I love that. That's great advice. I mean, just thinking about personally as a consumer, that initial discount is great, but if I truly love the product, I'm gonna buy it without a discount every time. So I think just initially getting them hooked, like you guys have,
getting the product in their hand too.
Getting the product in their hand and then lessening that discount along the way, because you got them in. All right, let's keep it moving, you guys. So we talk a lot about influencer marketing here on Live from Your Laptop. It has become all the rage. So we wanna understand what you guys are doing. Let's talk a little bit about your influencer program. What's the secret sauce for cultivating these relationships with influencers who, now have so many options and so many brands to work with? How are you guys doing it? And what's the first steps?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely become the rage, all the rage, for a good reason. We've definitely seen some success with influencers on our end. And the way that we partner with them really depends on the initiative. So it could be a launch, it could be a long-term partnership in which we're doing promotions with them throughout the year. So it really varies. But right now, I would say the secret sauce, or a huge ingredient, is that human touch. And we have used platforms in the past to source these creators, whether it is discovering new talent, or maybe looking for lookalike audiences based on influencers that have worked for us in the past. But right now, our process is pretty manual, which has its benefits. So you get to communicate directly with the talent managers or with the influencers themselves at times, and you're able to really cultivate that relationship and get a better sense of who they are, what their brand is, what their favorite products are, or what products resonate best with their audiences. So using all that information, which is huge for us, then we're able to curate promos and maybe even build virtual bundles that are going to be performing well, or that the influencers are actually excited to promote. So it's been a great process there, but I would say that human touch, that communication, constant communication and relationship building with those influencers and their talent managers, because maybe they have other talent in their roster that could be great to work with as well.
Exactly that. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. It may be a little bit more time and work on your end, but in the long term, it's a little bit more beneficial to do it a little bit more manually than just using like a platform to kind of set it up and forget it.
Right.
So yeah, I love that. That's awesome. I'm sure that, well, let's also stick on this. So what's the criteria for your influencers? What do you guys look for?
Yeah, so we've worked with influencers across the board. We've worked with nano influencers, with micro, macro, and it really varies. We're always looking to amplify and diversify that pool. But I will say the one thing that's really worked for us, and I will say this, like this is huge when it comes to if you're a brand that maybe you're dabbling in influencer marketing or you're kind of questioning it, I would say go with the influencers that have posted about you, that are already customers, influencers that are fans of your brand. It might be easier said than done if you're a smaller brand that maybe hasn't been discovered by these big name influencers, but I think just getting the product to them and having them test it, actually enjoy it, and have, if they want to actually promote it a few times on their pages, it just comes across way more organic and natural before if they do that before they actually start posting on a paid basis. Like, think about it, as a customer myself, I follow so many influencers on Instagram, and if I'm seeing out of nowhere these like branded stories, I'm probably not going to be inclined to purchase that product or check it out, just because it might just be a transactional relationship. But we do make sure that we're working with influencers that have posted about us in the past, that genuinely love our products and actually recommend it to their audiences.
Right. That's a great point. You never know like who in your customer base, J-Lo or Jennifer Aniston is going to see. You never know who knows people. So start with what you have.
Or what their audiences are, like what their numbers are. You never know. So you make sure that you're keeping an eye on like what you're being tagged on Instagram, who it is. Maybe you're being tagged repeatedly, and it could be a great person to start a relationship with.
Awesome. All right. So Tiffany actually wanted me to remind you guys, we are halfway through our question set. We need to plug in our curling irons. So if you're going to do the hair tutorial with us, get those curling irons hot, get them ready. But let's keep moving. I'd love to jump into Klaviyo and spend some time there. So you guys are creating some really fun and engaging stuff in Klaviyo. Fun fact that I learned, you guys actually saw a 29% bump in email list subscribers after only 2 quarters of using Klaviyo, which is pretty amazing. And I'm sure people in the community are like, well, how do we do that, Morgan? Well, we're going to get into that. So we're going to talk about some of your flows, your campaigns, and some of your pop-ups too. So let's start with the pop-ups, because that a lot of people have asked about them. You guys have very great pop-ups. So let's start with those. What are you using these pop-ups primarily for? And then, what are you doing with that data that you're collecting? How are you organizing it and then using it to create those personalized touches?
Yeah, so I would say the 2 that we have, so we have that initial one that I talked about that comes up if you're not a subscriber. So then you can subscribe, give your email, and you'll get a 10% discount. And then you also have that exit intent form that, again, asks for that email and your hair type. So we're primarily using them to grow our email list and then incentivizing that with that discount, that initial discount. And so we are using that hair type data. So just kind of making sure that for the campaigns that we do bill and all the segmentation that we're doing on the back end, that we're sending the relevant content to people. So if you have curly hair, maybe you don't want to hear about products that wouldn't be applicable to your hair type. Or if you have very thin, fine hair, you don't want to hear about our curl collection. So it's using that information on the back end to make sure that we're speaking to the right people at all times and that we're excluding people as well.
Awesome. And I think we're going to get more into segments here in a bit, but I want to show the exit intent pop-up. I am a sucker for exit intent pop-ups. I don't know about anybody else, but if you don't have an exit intent pop-up, you should probably put one on your site. This gets me every single time. let's talk about this and how well it's performing. And then where does this data filter into? Does it filter into the same kind of welcome series list? Does it go elsewhere? Do they get a different message?
Yeah, so this, we actually implemented it shortly after I started. So it's been almost a year that we've been using it. It's pretty successful. I do love having that exit intent form. It's successful every time and for all the other websites that I use. But so this information actually is a property. So you can see it on the back end as we look through our database, you can see it as a property for each user. So we are able to see when we create those segments on the back end, we can see who belongs to which category.
Form in the category of the different types. Awesome. Cool. So before we get ahead of ourselves, going into, talking about your segments and your data. So before that, like before you can send campaigns and flows, you got to have good data, right? To send those emails out and to conversate with your customers. It's much more than just having, a bunch of email addresses to blast content to. So I think we would all love to learn more about Living Proof strategy when it comes to your lists and building segments and how you're using that data to make more informed decisions.
Yeah, definitely. So again, hair type and hair concerns are huge for us. And those are things that we gather through the hair quiz on our site and as well the pop-ups and the reviews and things like that. Other segments that we get through the quiz, as I mentioned, the styling routines and the kind of products that people prefer and the kind of bundles or combinations that they're getting in those results. So we pay attention to those, and we also pay attention to high value customers for our targeting and retargeting purposes. So maybe people that have answered the quiz that say that they style their hair frequently. Those are the people we want to focus on when it comes to promoting our stylers. Or maybe we got an influx of customers, first-time purchasers or one-time purchasers through an influencer promotion or a viral moment, maybe on TikTok, our dry shampoo went viral. Who are these people? So identifying who these people are, how do we introduce them to new products, and how do we turn them into repeat purchasers moving forward? Other segments could be people that purchase our travel size products or our kits, our starter kits. And then I think those would be great candidates for a post-purchase kind of upsell campaign with creative that features that full-size bottle if they're ready for a full-size commitment. So just nudging them, making sure that we're nudging them at an appropriate time, maybe after the products are all gone, and seeing if they want to level up and get that full-size product. But I think besides segments, exclusions are also huge for this specific question. So that's something that we always want to keep in mind, especially to avoid our spam complaints. So we look at cohorts of, past purchasers, maybe people that have placed an order in X amount of days, or people that are purchasing a product that's going to be featured in that campaign. We definitely want to make sure that we're excluding them from whichever campaigns we send forward, because it doesn't really make sense if you're kind of throwing the products onto them if they already have a full bottle sitting in the shower waiting for them. So keeping that in mind for everything.
Yeah, very good point. The exclusions, sometimes people forget about that. And it's important to think about that 360 kind of, okay, if I'm a customer and I'm getting this, but I don't want to get this. So just making sure that you have all those cohorts organized. You guys work with, I think it's a platform or a software called Simon Data. I'd love to understand, how that is helping you guys. And, I know it's integrating into Klaviyo, but what is Simon Data for people that don't know what it is? How is that helping organize all this data for you guys?
Yeah, so they are our DSP partner, and they pretty much kind of bring attention to these high value customers that we mentioned. So we're obviously always taking into account the purchases that take place and the kind of customers that we have, but maybe they would deter and make recommendations based on the value or the volume of customers that are purchasing specific products. So with that data, we then create CRM campaigns and we target them with different touches or different promotions at times.
I love that. So taking it a little bit above what I guess the predictive analytics is doing in Klaviyo. Sima Data is assisting you guys and complementing the data in Klaviyo with that. Are you using predictive analytics or custom reporting in Klaviyo to help make more informed decisions on whether it's, you know, products that you're going to create or emails you're going to send, or, you know, new product launches?
We're not as of now, but definitely something that we should look into. It sounds like it would be very beneficial.
We'll send you guys some help center documents, you and everybody else. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing all that. Okay, so let's talk about your campaigns. I love getting your campaigns. Obviously, I'm a subscriber. Duh. They're stunning. But let's talk about what you use Klaviyo's campaigns specifically for. Are these product launches? Are they educational, going back to, you know, the stylist tips, the insider tips? I know we have a few screenshots that we want to share with the community so they can see how beautiful these are and some of the content that you guys are putting out there. Karina, what are your top 3 best performing campaigns, and why do you, I think we're looking at them, but why are these working? Why are they performing so well?
Yes, I mean, our campaigns kind of cover everything from this gift with purchase promo that we have here on the left-hand side to anything around our product or collection launches that call out the newness and the claims for each product. It could be more educational pieces, so those tutorials that we have from our stylists, or it could be like monthly roundups of our blog, Hair One-on-One. So we feature that, or we feature bestsellers of that month as well. But I would say performance definitely obviously depends on the KPIs. And for revenue, our best performing ones are, of course, the ones that have the big promo call outs. So anything that happens around Black Friday, our monthly gift with purchase promos, those perform really well on the revenue side. But I will say our launch emails, again, calling those benefits, those claims, the science behind the new products, and the content that comes from our blog tends to also improve other metrics that are also important, like higher click rates and maybe higher time spent on the website as well.
Right. And you guys are using some of that user-generated content as well. So not so, you know, you have your promotion side of things. By the way, I love the free little gift with purchase. I love that. But
yeah, I actually did an A/B test on that one. It is our promotion. Our promotional emails are obviously more effective in driving revenue, but I did an A/B test on this one, and with the same offer, offering those packets. And our creative team gave us an email with the packets and an email with the full-size bottle. And I was just curious to see how it would be received, even if it's the same offer. And the email with the full-size bottle obviously outperformed on every possible metric. So it's good to know, like, we can do these kind of tests to improve even our top performing emails. So we're always switching up, you know, subject lines and preview text and things like that to improve it.
yes, I love that. Always be testing. There's no harm in that. And then I think I spy Tiffany in these emails.
Yes, there she is.
You're modeling. I love that. They're really using their staff for these photos.
Oh yeah. for a bit. She's everywhere.
I love
Sephora. Yeah, she was a model. She is a model for us.
Amazing. So moving into everybody's favorite topic, which is flows. Let's look at some of your most successful flows yet. The first one I have here is your welcome series. Everybody knew we were going to talk about this. It's simple, it's to the point, but it's one of your top revenue generating ones. What's happening here? Why is it working so well? We're going to show some of the images that are in this flow as you talk through it. But, you know, do you change this flow up a lot? Do you refresh it a lot? You know, where are these people coming from? Are they coming from that 10% off initial sign up? Are they coming from separate landing pages? Let's talk through this.
Yeah, so our welcome series has, as you can see, that conditional split depending on where you signed up for. So for the most part, people sign up to get that 10% discount. So other times, maybe we have an influencer promotion or something going on this site and we turn that off. So it really depends on where they land. But the flow can be anywhere from 5 to 20 days long, depending on that, whichever journey you're on. So the first touch has a little welcome intro to the brand, just kind of that elevator pitch, much shorter version than the one I gave you guys. And it also has our starter kits. So I think it's a good introduction as well to some of our collections. And these are actually what some of you are going to win today. But it features travel size products of our bestsellers as a way to introduce folks to the brand. And then it also has, if you signed up to get that 10% discount, it also has a dynamic code that's generated through Klaviyo. So yeah, that would be the first touch. And then the second and third, and I think we can see them, the creative maybe in the next slides, but we can see that we are asking for people to sign up for, or to take the hair quiz, which again, very valuable to them to build their profile and get recommendations based on what it is that they're looking for that final finish or the hair regimen of their dreams. And then the last one would be to get them to sign up for social media to be the first in line to learn all about what we're doing and things that are coming in the pipeline. And then this last one over here, we actually added, so it'll be in the flow for folks that, based on that conditional split, if you didn't get that 10% discount, this would be the fourth touch, just kind of incentivizing that purchase. We do provide that discount code if you've seen a product, or maybe if you haven't interacted with the product whatsoever, just kind of giving you that little nudge to purchase.
I like the email, and if this is your second or third one, that is pushing them to your social accounts, because they may get there and they may see something that intrigues them and they're like, oh wait, I'm going to go purchase that product now. I like that. That's a good little trick right there. So get people to follow you on social, gain that social following while you're also sending them an email and pushing them to your site as well. Awesome. Okay, so that's your welcome series flow. You said it's somewhere between, it depends on the frequency that you're opening them, but you said what, 5 to 15-ish days. Have you guys tested? Have you tried the timing of that a little bit?
We have, and we might be due for a refresh. I know we haven't refreshed it, I think, in the past few months. So we do play around with the time delay in these flows. And yeah, but I think as of now, it's working so well. I think we want to keep it as is, but we'll see what we can switch up, maybe the creative and other things.
Yeah. Well, don't fix it if it's not broken. So,
right.
But remain relevant to your point before. So just keeping it fresh for people. Okay. The second flow I want to show everybody is your abandoned cart flow. Can you tell us a little bit more about this flow?
Yeah. So this flow, this abandoned cart is pretty standard, but pretty mighty. It also works pretty well for us. And this one, we have played around with time delays. As of now, we have 2 touches in the span of 6 hours. And I do think that we are going to consider maybe elongating that first wait. So maybe definitely longer than 3 hours. And then maybe adding different touches, a couple more touches, 2 or 3, to really make sure that we are getting that purchase or reminding people.
Yeah. Now, I do want to call out something that I think I was reading this in the case study we did with you guys, that you had a 21% increase in revenue per recipient after launching this abandoned cart flow. It was accompanying an abandoned checkout flow. And that all happened kind of live within 2 weeks of putting that live on Klaviyo. My point is, Morgan, what's your point? Point is, this abandoned cart flow, having an abandoned cart flow is crucial. And then I think another flow that I'd like to show people is your win back flow. This is also another very important flow, in my opinion. Karina, you can give me yours, but let's talk through this to see what you guys are doing from a win back flow perspective.
Yeah, so as I talked before, we do have other kind of post-purchase flows. After maybe someone has purchased a product that would go really well hand in hand with another one. We do have customers that could fall in that, but when it comes to people that are inactive and they're kind of nearing that 90-day, I think it's absolutely crucial, like you said, to have that flow on. I think it'd be a missed opportunity, because sometimes all you need is a little reminder that maybe you're running out of your product. I know personally, I notice that my products are officially gone by the time I need them the most. So I think there's so many ways to, again, incentivize or get people to come back and purchase again. So we do have a pretty standard win back flow here, just kind of reminding people. I love our subject line there.
I love the subject line. So catchy. If you can find like things like that go back to your brand and your product and who you are, like that would catch my eye, definitely. And you're right. Like normally when I'm running out of product, it's like, well, I wish I would have received an email from the brand, like, so this is the actual email that I think is in that one. So it doesn't look like you guys are offering a discount here. Have you played around with offering like a comeback to us discount? Like, don't forget, Yeah,
so we do have maybe in like a fourth or fifth touch for other post-purchase flows, but for this one, we haven't. Just kind of reminding them that a refill is waiting, and then they could maybe take the quiz again, just because your formula or whatever products you're using obviously changes on the season, or your hair type, things like that change. So it's good to get that refresh there and remind people to get that refill. So yeah, I think maybe in the future that could be a good idea for us to play around with some discounts here in the 90-day win back.
I mean, I don't think you need it. This flow is performing very well. So don't throw a discount in there if it's already performing well. So last question, you guys, before we jump into our summer hairstyling, comes from our community. And I really liked this question. What are you anticipating for Q4 retail and or e-commerce trends in a post-quarantine world, especially compared to 2020?
Yeah, so predictions are definitely tough. I mean, nobody could have predicted how 2020 panned out and everything that happened. I think in a lot of ways, obviously the past year impacted those purchase patterns. And I do think it also accelerated that shift toward e-commerce, which was already in motion. And I do think that moving forward, I think e-commerce as a sales channel will just continue to grow. It might even be better than how it was pre-COVID. And we obviously look forward to more in-person events and experiential activations and things like that. But I think moving forward, I do foresee online community building and just general online experience, enhancing that online experience being a priority for a lot of brands, definitely for Living Proof.
Yes, agree with all of those points. If you guys actually have predictions of your own, I'd love to see them. If you want to pop them over to the chat, anything that you guys are predicting in Q4 this year as compared to last year's Q4. Would love to share those thoughts with the community together. Okay, so that was incredible. Thank you so much, Karina, for sharing, taking the time to share these great strategies and insights with us today. Obviously, we recorded this, so we'll be sending this out if you guys missed any tidbits. But we are not done yet, people. We've got some hairstyling to do, and we've got a giveaway. But first, we are always looking to improve, and we encourage feedback here at Klaviyo and on Live from Your Laptop. So I'm going to launch a quick poll, you guys. I'd love to know how y'all enjoyed the episode with Living Proof today. 5 is you loved it, 0 is you didn't. And honestly, if you give me a 0, I'm not going to be mad at you. I just want to know why. So email me, let me know if you were unhappy, but we'll try to make it better for next time. So Tiffany, are we ready? Tiffany, can you do this in like 8 minutes?
I'll try. We'll just make it happen.
Make it happen. All right,
we'll make it happen.
I'm going to hand it over to Tiffany, and then we're going to do the giveaway, you guys.
All right. So since this is summer ready, I obviously am going to talk to some Living Proof products before I even do anything. So we have 2 products that I think are great for somebody that gets frizzy hair. So our first one is going to be our Humidity Shield. And this one you spray on your hair, and this is going to prevent your hair from frizzing. So we do have 2 products that are pretty similar, and this is a question we always get asked. So no frizz, Humidity Shield prevents your hair from frizzing. And the other product I want to talk about is our instant defrizzer. This one is going to take away the frizz that already happened. So these two products are super great. And if you're going to do any summer styles or anything, I highly recommend both of these products. So I will only be able to probably curl half of my hair, but before then, since this is summer style, sometimes we do not want to even touch our hair. We want it to be up. We don't want it to be honest. It's hot. Let's be real. So a product that you should always definitely go for if your hair's dirty is our dry shampoo. The best dry shampoo on the market, hands down. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and I've used dry shampoo my entire life, and this is hands down the best. It does spray on a little bit white. Don't fret if it does. You can shake it out and it'll get rid of all dirt, oils, everything. And it's a shake to activate product. So when you use it, make sure you shake. If you still see a little bit on your hair, take a blow dryer to it and shake it out. It'll get rid of all those powders. All right, so one thing for the summer, this is why I said a headband. You can literally take your hair, throw it up into whatever, a messy bun, a messy pony. Maybe you have some leftover curls or something like that. For time reasons, I'm just gonna do a super high, crazy pony. And I'm literally gonna grab a headband, toss it in, and say if you feel like you see right now, it looks a little flat, you're just gonna go in, and then you can go and put in some bobby pins. So just go in. I'm not gonna put it in bobby pins because I do wanna curl for you guys, but then you just go in, you put some bobby pins in, and it's so crazy how a headband can turn a awful hairstyle to something beautiful. There's so many different type of headbands out there as well. This one's a bit bulkier, but I like the diamonds and stuff on it. You can grab small ones, you can, grab barrettes or whatever, but a summer style that's great is literally tossing your hair up and throwing on a headband because it literally makes you look so much better. It's also great for a conference call. If you don't have time to do your hair, just throw a headband in. All right, so a big thing in the summer is beach waves. So I want to show you beach waves. I'm going to show you a couple tips and tricks. And sorry that I'm going a mile a minute. If you have a question, pop it in the chat and I'll help you.
That's all right. You got time. Let's get these beach waves on point.
All right. So I personally, some people like to take a big section in the back and go up, up, up. I personally like to see everything I'm doing. So I will part my hair in half and kind of leave one on the other side and then leave this side. So I'll take a small little section down here. And then I'm going to take this hair, whatever you have. If you have a clip, if you have a hair elastic, whatever it is. And as I mentioned, the humidity shield. I'm going to spray this on before I curl my hair in the summer to prevent any frizz from happening. And another thing is when you curl your hair, please make sure you use a heat protectant because that is what is going to help your hair. So humidity shield has that heat protection in it, so you're good.
I use this, Tiffany, this Restore Perfecting Spray. It says it's UV and heat protectant.
Yes, that one's great. So the only thing, that's also a detangler. We recommend to use that on damp hair. Oh. If you do use it on dry hair, that's completely okay. But make sure your hair gets completely dry before, because if not, your curling iron's gonna sizzle.
Burn it off.
Your hair's wet because it's not an aerosol that dries. It is a wet spray. So absolutely can use it on second day hair to comb out, but make sure it's dry before putting any heat to it. I mean, a blow dryer, obviously different, but a flat iron or curling iron, you do not want to put it on there if you are still wet. So an aerosol for that, it dries. So my biggest thing is I like all my curls going away from my head. I don't like curls going towards your head. So something to always think about is when you're curling your hair, you see the clamp, you want the clamp looking forward. So when the clamp's looking forward, and then you're just gonna put it in your hair in it. And I like to twist, and I kind of take this clamp and I kind of pulsate it to get the hair in. You can leave a little bit of hair out if you like it, because if you like that long beachy wave, and then I just kind of roll it. I leave it for, a couple seconds. You probably don't want to do this, but I'm a stylist, so I do this all the time. And just leave it on for a second. And something that people do, they automatically pull down. If you want a nice beach wave, I kind of recommend to twist it, pull it, twist it, pull it, and let go. And what happens when you pull it is it's going to give you that longer beach wave. So if you just kind of let it go and clamp it, it's just going to be more of a curly Sue curl versus something, as you can see, is more elongated.
Well, that's a good trick. I never knew to do that.
Yeah. So, after all these years, I just started doing that. So fun fact. So I'm going to go again for time. I'm going to do bigger sections. Obviously, whatever you want to do, it depends on how much you want to do. And then I'm going to go in with a brush And it's funny, I don't know if the person's still on the call. I think her name was Kristen, but I love my Denman brush. I know she works for Denman.
Ah,
Hello, hello. Usually I use that when I use my curly to wavy hair, but it's here, so I'm using it. Again, spray the humidity shield, and we're just gonna go in and do the other, and do the same thing that we were doing for all of them. See, she's gonna give away with us. See? Awesome.
Yeah. So it's living, and maybe you guys can't share this with us, but are you guys thinking about creating your own hairstyling tools or brushes, or, you know, you have the products, but
To be honest, I'm not really sure. Do a lot of giveaways with people and stuff like that. So
you collab with other partners?
no, definitely. I mean, it would be great for us. We are, you know, a science brand. You never know.
Whoa.
So
Cliffhanger.
continue to do this. Continue. Kind of like I said, clamping it, leaving a little out. I'll do half my head. You guys are going to see fabulous beach waves on one side.
Yeah, I'm doing half my hair too. I have a lot of it. So it takes me about 25 minutes to do this, not 5. So
Yeah, I don't have a lot of hair. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. And another thing about, while I'm talking to you guys, I might as well plug a little. So Living Proof, we have different franchises or collections, as we call them, and they work for different things. So if you have fine flat hair, which I have fine to medium flat hair, our full line is best for you. It's going to give you the best setup with a shampoo and conditioner. It's really cleansing to give you, you know, remove products and things like that, and help set you up for a good style. If you have dry, damaged hair, we recommend the Restore line. And that's just one of our most conditioning lines. And that's gonna, you know, help you if you have dry, damaged hair. And then we have our No Frizz line. So if frizz is your biggest concern, go for the No Frizz line. And then we have our new curly line. So that one is also great. I'm missing one. What am I missing? Oh, Perfect Hair Day. So if you do not have any crazy hair issues, I think the Perfect Hair Day is great for you. You just want a really great product that's gonna have your hair happy and healthy. The Perfect Hair Day is great for you. There's so many different stylers, but as Karina mentioned, the 5-in-1 is literally my absolute favorite product. And I think that it's so good. It can work for any hair type. Gives you a little body volume, smoothness. It helps with dryness. So it's a styler and a treatment in one. So that is why I absolutely love it. And as you can see, I continued to make sure the clamp was in the front.
yes, clamp in the front. Good trick.
And then I'm just going to go it out. And then I personally like to put a little bit of hairspray. So this is, I don't know why I shook it. You don't have to shake it. So this is our Flex hairspray, and I'm just going to spray it all over. And this is my favorite smelling product. And typically I'll curl the other side as well, leave it, and then put my hands through. But I'm just going to go in again for time. Just put my hands through. And you're going to have some fabulous, nice beach waves. I personally used a 1-inch curling iron. If you have long hair, you can use something bigger. And it's going to kind of die down a little bit. But as you can see, it has some nice beach waves.
Yes.
And after you're all done, day 2 or whatever it may be, if you have some frizz, go in with the Insta Defrizzer, you put it, and then you just take your hands and kind of smooth it out. Right now, my hair is super smooth as I had it blow dried, but yeah, some great waves.
Yep. Got it. Instant Defrizzer. This is a lifesaver to you. The product. Awesome. Well, Tiffany, any other tips before we close the show here?
If you do not have dry shampoo, go buy it now.
Yes.
Use that Klaviyo pop-up, 10% off your order.
Exactly.
Highly suggest it, and you can email us if you have any questions.
I love that. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for showing us how to do cute beach waves and adding accessories for the summertime. Definitely go get yourself some dry shampoo from Living Proof if you don't have it already. All right, you guys, time for the giveaway. I know it's 5 o'clock, so if you have to go, I get it, but I hope you stay so you can win. We are playing for a starter kit. There's going to be 2 winners, and Karina's got the question. So how it's going to work, you guys, she's going to ask the question. You're going to use your fast hands to type in. I realize that not everybody is as quick as everybody is. So we're going to do the 1st and the 20th winner. If you think that you want to wait for the 20th spot, don't do that. Just type your answer in, and let's get it. All right, Karina, what's the question?
Okay, you're ready?
Ready.
The question is, from which institute did the technology behind all the Living Proof products originate from? Oh my God, the chat is going crazy.
I told you,
Oh
they're
my God.
good at this.
You guys are on it.
They are,
On fire, guys.
we have to get harder with the questions. We just do. All right, you guys, I'm scrolling up. Let's see. Peter Miller, you are our first winner. The answer is MIT in Cambridge. So MIT is the correct answer. Peter, you are our first winner. And Trevor from my team, he's going to call out our 20th winner here in a second. All right, you guys, that's the show today. Thank you so much to our Living Proof family for being with us. I'm so grateful that you guys have chosen Klaviyo to partner with, and can't wait to see what happens next on your e-commerce side. Also, a huge thank you goes out to all of you guys tuning in today, our incredible community. Live from Your Laptop would not have lasted a whole year without you guys. So we are so grateful for each and every one of you. Two last things to keep on your radar. Be on the lookout in the next few hours for a follow-up email. There, you're going to have a replay of the episode along with some additional resources to help your business own it, and a link to sign up for next week's EMEA edition of Live from Your Laptop with our girl Rosie over in the UK. So we have started an EMEA version of Live from Your Laptop. So if you are from that community, or even if you're not, everybody's welcomed. You can join that episode as well. And then lastly, you guys, as they say, all good things must come to an end, and we will be hosting the final, I think it's the 44th episode of Live from Your Laptop in 2 weeks at the end of the month. And I hope that everybody can join us for this very special last episode of Live from Your Laptop before we sign off. We've got a lot of in-person stuff to get working on, so we're not leaving you. We will see you soon, but we'll keep you posted on details for that. So bye for now, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you